up, y'all? It's your girl Roxy with Roxy Says, and we're gonna talk about it. Today we are reviewing Love is Blind UK episodes 8 and 9. Before we get started, I just have to give you all a huge thank you. We hit 25,000 subscribers. I think we're at like 25,400 right now. I can't say thank you enough. This time last year, I had I think 650 subscribers. So to have this amount of growth in 1 year, I am so grateful. I'm so thankful. And I always want to take a moment to encourage all of you, because I know a lot of y'all watch my reviews, you watch other content creators, and you want to start your own channel, but you have doubts or fears. Just do it. Just turn your camera on, record. You don't have to have the best setup. All of the videos that y'all have seen have been recorded on an iPhone. Okay, this is an iPhone camera. These are lights from Amazon. This is a little plant I got from Michael's, Joann's, one of those stores. They were having a sale. Listen, if it's something that you're passionate about and you've been wanting to start your channel, okay? Just do it. I believe in you. You're gonna be amazing. And another thing, we just hit 2 million views. That is just crazy to me. But again, I am so thankful and I appreciate each and every single one of you. Now, let's get into this review because so much happened in these 2 episodes. So we're starting off with episode 8. We only have 14 days until the wedding. We see the couples debriefing about all of their meetings with family and friends. We see Nicole telling Baniah that she wants to have a conversation with Sam for some closure, and she wants to give Sam back the ring and bracelet that he gave to her. Nicole makes it very clear that she just wants to deal with this head on and she wants to get it out of the way. But I don't understand Nicole needing closure, because how much more closure do you need? Y'all spent 2 days together. And then y'all broke up. Why didn't you give him back the ring and the bracelet when y'all broke up? Was this supposed to be a temporary breakup? What's tea, sis?
He can just come and say exact same stuff he's saying in the pod, and I want to protect you so you don't get hoodwinked again, like swayed. I wouldn't stop you from seeing him, but trying to think about it, because I think about it, it just gets me very upset.
I love you, I'm sorry.
To me, Baniah's reaction to this was a huge red flag, and the way that he acts later on really had me looking at him like, is everything okay? It's giving a bit unstable. He started tearing up, and you can tell that he was really angry and frustrated. I felt like his reaction was a bit much. Anyways, next we see Maria and Tom. They have a conversation about Tom's mom not being supportive of the experiment, and Tom lets her know that she will not be attending the wedding. That's always a bad sign. Next, we get a group meeting where everyone from the pods will be in attendance, so we'll be seeing a lot of new faces. And we know that that always goes well, right? So off the bat, everyone notices that Demi and Ollie are more comfortable with each other, they're more lovey-dovey, and all of the girls are so happy for Demi. Then we get a conversation between Baniah and Tom, okay? And Tom tells Baniah that him and Maria, they went out to eat a few times, and on one of their outings, she paid. Now, he said that after she paid, she was being a little bit standoffish, so then he inquired about it, and Maria said this.
Basically, like, in the kind of initial courtship phase, her views that men should just basically cover everything. And I hadn't even thought of that, do you know what I mean? Like, she says that she would feel embarrassed being seen to pay for something when we're out together.
Maria, baby, I don't know how many times I gotta say it. Tom is not your guy. Tom is a 50-50 guy. He's not gonna spend a bunch of money on you. He's not gonna pay for your dates. He's not gonna go to work and make all the money while you stay at home. Tom is not doing any of that. He's not doing any of that, boo. And you're only gonna be able to pretend like you're cool with that for so long. Next, we see that things still aren't the best between Kat and Freddy is still walking around looking sad AF. And we also see that Baniah is still pressed about Sam. Tom expresses his nervousness about meeting Tosh, and then we get a scene that cracked me up.
Oh, these. Who's that?
Hey, baby, here are those people.
Tasha and Charlotte. This is Ollie. Hi, I'm Charlotte.
Oh my gosh, how you doing?
Good, nice to meet you too.
Good?
I'm good.
Charlotte.
See, now I pointed this out in a previous review. Remember when Ollie first saw Kat, right? We have found Ollie's tell. When there's a woman that Ollie is attracted to, watch that tongue. It'll tell you everything you need to know. Charlotte walked in and everyone was like, who is that? Charlotte is a baddie, okay? Charlotte is a baddie. And we see that Ollie agrees because we hear him use words to describe her that I have never heard him use for Demi.
Looks-wise, Charlotte is mad. Berserk. Yeah, sublime. And don't get me wrong, Demi's fire as well.
What's the excuse for this? Disrespectful, okay? Disrespectful. Child, next we see Sippy Cup Sam. He comes in, he makes his entrance, and the way Baniah was acting had me cracking up.
We cool.
You okay? Yeah, I'm good, man. How you doing?
Yeah, we'll talk. We'll talk.
Maybe.
You good?
He didn't say hello to you.
No.
He's a bit rude, he ignored you.
He was ready to go. I'm like, Baniah, are you from Brooklyn, New York like me? Because I'd be ready to go too. Next, we see Kat acting all giddy, all excited, because she claims that Sam looks like one of her exes.
He literally looks like my ex. Like,
What's that?
Spitting image of my ex. Like, spitting image.
Now, mind you, she had tried to check Freddy when he looked over at Charlotte and Tosh when they came. And she's like, oh, what you doing? He's like, oh, I'm just surveying the room. I'm just looking around. New people came in. I'm just looking. She tried to check Freddy on that, but Sam walks in and she's all giddy and comparing him to her ex.
Oh my God, he looks just like my ex.
And I'm so happy that Freddy called her out for that.
What do you think of all the girls?
Charlotte. Yeah, I think she's nice. Yeah.
Oh, I heard you the first time. You don't know when to stop, do you, babe? So if I said, oh yeah, he's well attractive, then I
You've said about 5 times he looks like your ex.
I think how that's the me too.
Freddy, dump her now. Dump her, please. Next, we see Sam telling Ollie that he feels like Nicole and Baniah may have given everyone a bad perception of him, and he's not happy about that, and he wants to straighten it out. Child, next we get this little chat between Sam and Nicole.
How are you, okay?
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. It's actually really good to see everyone. I just want to say, you know, we had feelings for each other from the pods, and I wanted to finish the experiment with you. Did you love me?
In the pods, yeah. I felt like I did.
Yeah.
I just think that we just weren't right.
Yeah, I remember you wanted to be physical with me, and
I
I said no that night.
Yeah,
I didn't want to rush things though either.
Now, y'all know that I do not see it for Sippy Cup Sam. I do not eat green eggs and ham. No, ma'am. And this could all be editing, okay? Because we know the show is edited and produced. Some things are left out, okay? But I'm just going by what I saw in that scene. Nicole did not protest when Sam said that she tried to sleep with him. And he says it more than once. Because normally, if someone made a claim like that, I'm pretty sure the response would be, boy, you a lie. You're a lie. Don't lie on me. And even with Sam saying that, Nicole is still being friendly with him. She's smiling. She's saying, you know, we did have a connection and then we didn't. You know, it just didn't work out. She's being very kind and pleasant to Sam. And again, Sam's like, oh, why didn't we work out? Because I didn't want to be physical. Sam is making sure that he drives the point home that Nicole wanted to sleep with him and he turned her down. But this conversation is really interesting because remember in previous episodes, Nicole and Baniah were discussing that they like to wait. Nicole says that that's how she usually goes about things. So to find out that you was ready to go with Sam, it's just interesting. Now it's her body, her choice. She could do whatever she wants to do with whoever she wants to do it with, whenever she wants to do it. But it's still interesting. So Nicole tries to give Sam the ring and the bracelet back and he tells her that she could keep it. He didn't pay for that. He don't care. They don't pay for these things, so Sam don't give a damn. But Nicole insists on giving it back, and she says that she just wants to close that chapter, and they do seem to end the convo on a good note and with a hug. Now, Baniah isn't too happy about the conversation because he feels like Nicole is someone who can be easily tricked into thinking that Sam is still a good guy, despite the experience that she had with him. And in this situation, I don't like that. Baniah, Nicole is a grown woman. I don't want you to take what you feel is protecting Nicole and turn that into controlling Nicole. Even though Baniah said that he wouldn't stop Nicole from speaking to Sam, I feel like his behavior was still a tad bit manipulative. I feel like he wanted Nicole to say, you know what, babe, I don't want you to be upset. I won't talk to him. And that's another reason why I feel like Baniah is doing too much. Like I said, he's coming off as controlling and he's low-key treating Nicole like she's a kid and she can't make her own decisions. And at this point, you got the girl. You won. You have Nicole. Why are you still so upset? Next, we get Kat in her confessional, and she says that she does feel a tad bit insecure. So I guess her way to get back at Freddy was to go have a conversation with Sam and flirt with him.
You're a good-looking guy. I think we'll be fine. I don't intentionally flirt, but I think it could come across as flirting.
Go.
Listen, if you are ever in town...
100%. So I'm down the road, you know where I'm at.
I know your vibe.
I love you.
Just behave.
I will, I'm being good, like...
When I tell you Kat was doing the most, she asks Sam if she could have Nicole's ring, and she says that that ring is actually the type of ring that she really wanted. Seriously, what is wrong with this girl? Go home, baby. Just go home. And I really wish that Freddy's sister was there so she could pop up on the scene like, excuse me, and check Kat. Next, we see thirsty Tom all up in Natasha's face.
Like a massive shock seeing Tash. She's a little bit more glamorous than what I thought she was going to look like. You're right.
Good.
No. Do I look how I thought I was going to look like? How you thought I was going to... I don't look the same.
You're a lot more put together than I am.
Then to make matters worse, Tom tells Natasha that him and Maria have been having disagreements and he doesn't know if they're going to say yes at the altar. Tom, go home. Clearly, he's trying to leave the door open for Natasha, and Natasha has no problem with that.
For me, I only have like literally so much care and like respect for you, genuinely. And like genuinely, I really, whatever makes you happy, like...
Listen, it's obvious that these two are like clearly, like genuinely, like literally still into each other. And this conversation is extremely inappropriate. But Maria's off to the side saying that she's not bothered by the conversation. She doesn't care about it. Girl, we know that's a lie. And that's why eventually she went over to them and she snatched her man up.
Oh, hey, honey.
You're right.
Yeah, okay. Can we sit down somewhere? Because my feet are killing me. Can we sit on the other side of that?
Yeah.
Tom, go home. Kat, go home. And Baniah, go take a nap because you're scaring me. Speaking of Baniah, next we see him go over to Sam for an unnecessary conversation. He tells Sam that he's disingenuous, he wasn't here for the right reasons, and he hurt Nicole, and he loves Nicole, so he's upset. Baniah, you got the girl. And at this point, why do you even care what Sam's intentions were? Who cares?
Come out here and say my piece because she is at the forefront of my mind.
We had an amazing connection in the pods, yeah? And she even admitted it tonight. But you seem to be, like, so hung up about that.
No, I need to come out here and
Tell
say
me
my
why.
piece. You can listen.
You're aware when she stayed at mine that she wanted to sleep with me and I said no, yeah?
But on a lighter note, look at these two. Yes. I like to see it. I like to see it. Good for them. The next day, we see Tom and Maria, and they're having a conversation about his conversation with Natasha. And we see Tom downplay his interest and his excitement, and he puts it all on Tosh.
How did you feel about Tasha being there?
That conversation was a lot more intense than I'd anticipated. It was like super emotional for her, and I just think from her point of view, she felt a bit more romantically towards me.
He was talking about how uncomfortable he felt. Boy, if you were that uncomfortable, Maria wouldn't have had to come snatch you up. You would have left that conversation all on your own. So stop it. And now Tom has Maria kind of mad at Tosh. You see that triangulation that he's doing? He's creating a beef between Tosh and Maria. Okay, now granted, Tosh was doing the most in that conversation, but the way that Tom downplayed his role in that conversation as if he was just this helpless little baby and Tosh was just jumping on him, boy, we know that's not what happened. I got my eye on you, Tom. I got my eye on you. Next, we see Baniah and Nicole, and they debrief about the conversation that Baniah had with Sam. And Nicole says that she knows what happened between her and Sam, and she's not worried about what Sam has to say, and she's ready to move on. And we don't see her confirm or deny Sam's claims, which of course leaves Baniah uneasy. Next, we see Sabrina and Steve. They head over to Belfast, and they discuss their future living situation. This is going to be a big issue for them because whenever it's brought up, they always say, oh, there's no rush. We'll figure it out. Even when they met up with Steven's best friends and brother, it was brought up and they said the same thing. We have a bunch of time. There's no rush. Listen, eventually y'all are going to have to come to a solid decision and make a plan about where you're going to live should you get married. It seems like Steven is expecting Sabrina to move and Sabrina is now asking Steven if he's willing to move. Now remember in the pods, Steven pretty much made it clear that he's staying in London. He made it pretty clear, and Sabrina did say that she's willing to move to London because she didn't want to stay in Belfast. Okay, Sabrina, that's what you said, so don't bring Steven to Belfast now and put him in front of the water, show him how beautiful it is, and now ask him if he wants to move to Belfast. In the pods, you said that you would move to London. So nothing is resolved in that conversation, but later that night, we do see Steven meeting with Sabrina's mom, sister, and friend. They grill him about his upbringing, the whole process, how they bonded, how they fell in love, and the issue regarding their living situation comes up again. This time, Steven says that his job gives him some flexibility so he can travel, and he says that Sabrina isn't giving up her apartment. Now you see Steven is singing a different tune because he's in front of Sabrina's family, right? I see you, Steven. Sabrina's mom and sister are definitely skeptical and they don't want her to get hurt. And even when we see Sabrina's mom have a private conversation with Steven, she reiterates her fears about the experiment, but she eventually does tell him that he has her blessing so far. Next, we see Ali. He's going to meet Demi's parents and siblings, and I'm like, when are we gonna meet Ali's family and his friends? I want to meet them too. Demi says that it is extremely important for Ali to get her father's approval, so of course she hopes that he makes a great first impression. They have some fun bowling, and then we see that Ali has a one-on-one with Demi's dad. Demi's dad lets Ali know that she has a whole lot of friends, and he wants to make sure that Ali isn't the jealous type, and he also says at the end of the day, he just wants to make sure that his daughter is happy and safe. He loves the fact that Ali has 4 sisters because he feels that that means that Ali will know how to treat women right. Maybe. And we see Demi's dad start to cry in his confessional because he just wants the best for Demi.
Thank you so much. Honestly, it's been amazing.
Don't say that, we'll get one. He's getting emotional.
You can see how much love this man has for his daughter, and he just wants her to be happy more than anything in this world. Overall, the meeting goes very well, and I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I wouldn't be surprised if these two are married. I wouldn't be surprised. They're probably married. Next, we see Kat and Freddy have a bit of a heated conversation.
I need to stop snapping and stop being bossy.
You've not shut up about it. Being adopted, it's had like a mental, emotional effect on me. And that's probably why I'm fiery and why I'm sassy, but I'm willing to assess my attitude towards you.
It's easy to change something for now.
No, it's not. Making me out to be like some demon. I'm not. I don't need to change anything, but I want to change.
Look, Kat, if you're still dealing with the trauma of being adopted, that is 1000% understandable, but that is also something that you are going to have to get professional help for. And no one is obligated to stick with you through that, especially when you're being, dare I say, emotionally abusive. Freddy has been trying and trying with you, and like I said before, he's gonna get tired of your shit, and he has every right to. And I'm happy that he's giving you some pushback in this conversation. But child, Freddy says this, and Kat don't even know what to do with herself.
I'm thinking about as well is it worries me that if we were to get married, legally you'll be entitled to, my money. I believe that we've got something real. I believe that we've got something strong. Would you be offended if I was to get something in place to say that my assets would be going to, say, my sister if I was to pass away?
That sucks what you said, Ben.
Period. I wish more people did this on these shows. I think it should be mandatory, actually. We put something in place now, and if we make it to 5 years, we can revisit. I'm not mad at Freddy at all. You see that bachelorette who's now paying that guy, her ex-husband, what, 10K a month, 15K a month? No, ma'am. Get your prenup, especially with a process like this. So now we're on episode 9, and as it opens up, we see that Nicole will be meeting Baniah's mom and sister. And he lets her know that after she dumped him, he went back to Germany, and they saw how hurt and upset he was. So Nicole is gonna have to make a really good first impression to win them over. So we see Baniah's sister greet Nicole with a hug, but his mom just scurries past her. And even when they sat down at the table, you can tell that she was a bit upset, and baby, she just let it all out.
Oh no, what happened? And it was really, wasn't it? It was just, oh, Mum. And when all the emotions come up, he couldn't eat. We've never seen him in a state like that, have we? No. Oh gosh.
Nicole apologizes to the women, and she explains that she picked the wrong person. She tells him that she got divorced 3 years ago, and they discussed the Sam situation. And Baniah says that he just had to say something to Sam. No, you didn't, Baniah. No, you didn't. But Baniah's sister does tell him that she thinks it's time for him to move on from this whole Sam situation. Thank you, sis. Ultimately, it's a great meeting, and Baniah's sister tells Nicole that she has a great feeling about her, something that she's never felt with any of Baniah's exes. Baniah's mom says that she loves Nicole, and she gives them her blessing. Baniah's sister did say something that had me like, She said that a lot of people don't understand that Baniah is a nomad, and they want him to change, but that's just his lifestyle, and sometimes they can't even get a hold of him. Hold up. Nicole, I'm gonna need you to have more conversations with Baniah about y'all living situation. You need to make sure that he's ready to settle down and he's not gonna have you frolicking in the woods with him and Winnie the Pooh, okay? We haven't heard much conversation about how y'all are gonna live. Now, Nicole, if that's the lifestyle you want, then cool, y'all are perfect. But if not, y'all need to have more conversations around this, and why haven't we seen more conversations about this? But ultimately, the day ends on a beautiful note. Too bad I can't say the same for this next meetup. So we see the two discuss their differences, and Freddy does say that he thinks that Kat may be a bit high maintenance, and she doesn't like that at all.
Do you think Kat is high maintenance?
Yeah, I do a little bit, yeah. I think she is a bit, yeah.
Was that okay?
No, I don't think so, because I think that I would not satisfy her. The stuff you say sometimes, I've been to this club and I've done this, been here, I've been there, and I've never sort of dated a girl like that. And without
a girl like that?
Yeah.
And you think I eat in like Nobu every day? I don't live this life.
Yeah.
And it's starting to piss me off. Do you want to get another drink as well?
Yeah, I'll grab one, yeah.
Freddy, stand up. Oh my God. I was really hoping that when Freddy walked away from that table, he took his behind home and said, you know what, F this, because this girl is wilding right now. But when left alone, we see Kat tell her friends that Freddy wants a prenup. And she asks them if she should be worried. And they say that they feel like Freddy asking for a prenup comes off as controlling. Okay, girl, so you work your ass off, buy your house, have your investments, save your money, and you give someone the opportunity to take half of your shit after you've only known them for a month. Does that sound like a smart idea to you? No. Clearly, Freddy has something to lose and he's trying to protect it. But ultimately, Kat's friends say that they do not think that she and Freddy will work because of the difference in their lifestyle. So if you don't think they'll work, you should understand why a prenup is important, okay? So it's 7 days until the wedding and we see that Maria will be meeting Tom's sisters. They discuss the process and the connection that they were able to develop without seeing each other. And then they go into their differences and Maria tells them the story about how Tom allowed her to pay for the ice cream on the first date. And that's just not what she's used to when being courted. She feels like a man should pay for all of the dates in that beginning stage. She also explains that in her culture, the man is the provider and he looks after the entire family. Then they discuss their living situation.
I am not 100% comfortable paying someone else's mortgage, if I'm being completely honest.
Well, we can talk about that.
You never know what's going to happen. Like, if we're together for 4, 5, 6 years and then we end, I just end up paying, like, a huge amount of his mortgage. And do you know what I mean? It's like, happy days, see you later.
I kind of understand that. But then maybe that's her saying that she has doubts in her mind.
I'm so happy that they're having these money conversations. I'm so happy, but I feel like y'all should have spoke more about this in the pods. Yeah. Marriage is a business, okay? Yes, there's love, but marriage is a business. And if these two get married, which I don't even think they should at this point because their values and ideals are so different, finances will be a huge point of contention in their marriage. Huge. But ultimately, the meeting goes well, and Tom's sister says that she loves Maria. We'll see, child. Next, we see Freddy. He meets up with Catherine's parents, and they share a beautiful story of when they first met Kat. She was only 11 weeks old, and they said she was just the perfect baby. They mention the differences in their lifestyle, and Freddy says that he just wants everything to be right. He wants everything to go well. And then we see him have a one-on-one with Kat's dad, and he promises to be a good man to Catherine. Next, we get this train wreck when Bobby meets Jasmine's mom. Now, before the meeting, Jasmine already warned Bobby about her mom, and she tells him that she's a straight shooter and sometimes she's a bit offensive, but that's just how she is. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. In a relationship, you should be your partner's first line of defense. That means you should not allow your mama, your daddy, your brother, sister, uncle, cousin, grandma, no one should be able to disrespect your partner. You should be the one to check that and nip it in the butt immediately. You can't have people talking crazy to your significant other and say, oh, well, that's my mom. That's just how she is. Oh, that's my dad. That's just how he is. No. So when Jasmine said that, I already knew that this whole meetup was about to be some BS. Later that night, child, Jasmine's mom comes over and they knew what they were doing because they started playing the creepiest background music.
Don't cry.
Oh,
Gonna make me cry.
so
This is
nice to
funny.
meet you. How you doing? Do you want to come in?
So they sit at the table and she asks Bobby what made him fall in love with her daughter, Jasmine. She asks how many exes he's had, his schooling, and child, after the schooling question, it just went downhill from there.
I ended up not going to university. When I was in school, I struggled really to kind of concentrate.
But in this day and age, not a lot of people go to university anymore.
Sometimes it's very difficult to communicate with an uneducated person. It's better to be with a person with a good educational background.
Wow. How ignorant of her to say that. Bobby tries to reassure her and he tells her that he makes good money from his sales, so he won't have a problem affording housing in London. And then he mentions that they might move. Jasmine's mom does not like that, and we get a glimpse of how overbearing this lady is.
I'm very much involved. I've always been involved with Jasmine. And I said, if you have secrets, tell me first. I am your friend. I am the best friend that you could ever have.
But I think going forward, though, I don't want to be telling you, oh, Bobby and I had an argument because of the dishwasher.
No, but you have to tell me. You have to tell me everything.
Girl, no, she does not have to tell you everything. She is a grown woman. So as we know, Jasmine's ex had a baby on her. Jasmine's mom is twice divorced. So she just has huge fears about Jasmine being hurt again. I understand. No one wants to see their child being hurt. But you can tell that this lady has no boundaries, and we can see where Jasmine gets her aggressive communication style from. Jasmine's mom is giving Mama Joyce from Real Housewives of Atlanta. If you know, you know. In Bobby's confessional, he says there are gonna have to be some boundaries in this relationship. His marriage will be between him and Jasmine, not between him, Jasmine, and Jasmine's mom. And I said, period, Bobby, but again, Jasmine is gonna have to be the one to stand up to her mother and put those boundaries in place. We see Jasmine have a one-on-one with her mom where she's trying to convince her of how much she loves Bobby and how sure she is with her decision. They hug and cry it out, but I can already see that this lady is going to be a huge problem. So it's 6 days until the wedding, and it's time for everyone to get fitted for their dresses and their tuxes. I'm only gonna go through the ladies because we don't really care what the guys look like in their tux. We care about the dresses, right? Exactly. So I'm just gonna run through all their dresses, okay? All of the ladies look beautiful. We see Sabrina come out. We see Nicole come out. We see Maria come out, and child, her family had me tearing up. We see Jasmine come out. Then we get Kat. We see Demi come out, and she gives a beautiful little speech. I really loved it. All of the ladies look absolutely beautiful, and I'm sure all the guys look handsome. And next, we see all of the couples go on dates where they discuss the upcoming wedding. Kat and Freddy go to a pottery class. Sabrina and Steven go to a vineyard. Demi and Ali go to an arcade, and I cannot lie, I was smiling from ear to ear during this scene. You can really see the growth in this relationship. Now, I don't know if I love it, but I will acknowledge that they are definitely showing each other more PDA, and they seem to just have a really good vibe. But hopefully Demi isn't falling into that bro category with Ali. We also see Tom and Maria. They're in a great mood, and they're super excited for the wedding. We also find out that Maria's brother will be walking her down the aisle, and they're gonna make sure that they commemorate her dad during the ceremony. We also see a sweet conversation between Nicole and Baniah, and they discuss not letting situations in your past or relationships that went wrong in your past dictate your future. And we also see Jasmine and Bobby, and they're just reassuring each other of their love, and they also say they cannot wait to get married. Child, the way everyone is talking on these dates, you would think everyone is getting married, okay? Everyone is in the best of spirits. But the way that these previews are looking, I don't know. Tell me all your predictions. Is it time for predictions? The next episode comes out, on Wednesday? I do think that Demi and Ali are going to get married. I think that Steven and Sabrina are going to get married. I hope that Kat and Freddy do not get married. Who else do we have? I know I'm missing a couple. Nicole and Baniah, I'm not sure. I think I'm leaning more towards they will get married. Am I missing a couple, y'all? I think Maria and Tom might get married. But of course, my predictions could be completely wrong. I haven't seen the show. I don't know these people. But let me know your predictions below. Thank you so much for joining me for episodes 8 and 9. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so that you're made aware every time I post a new video. Thank you all so much for 25,000 subscribers and 2 million views. And I cannot wait to see y'all in my next video. Bye.
Roxy says we're gonna talk about it.